Hello guys, this is the third episode or third part of my Python series. In this series, we will learn about conditional statement in Python, and we will also see the use of logical operator, that is and, or, and not operators. Okay, so let's go ahead. So conditional statement are used. So conditional statement are used when we want to execute some statement depending on another statement. Suppose I have a variable with value 10. This is how we initialize variable in Python. I have already uh, taught this in previous video, so I will give the link for that. Okay, so we only want to print the value of a if it is greater than 5. So right now our a is 10. Okay, so how can we write if a is greater than 5? Okay, if a is greater than 5, and then we will write the statement to be executed. So suppose you want to write, suppose you want to print a is greater than 5. Okay, okay, one thing you have to keep in mind that these indentation. So if we write something under some line, suppose if we have written this statement under if. Okay, so that's why this indentation plays an important role. Okay, so you have to give the proper indentation for any Python code, as I have earlier told you. So now go ahead and run this code. What happens? It is printing a is greater than 5. Why? Because a value of a is 10. Okay, so it's printing a is greater than 5. Let make a to 3. A is equal to 3. Now when we run our code, let me clear the screen. Now when we run our code, nothing will get printed. Why? Because the if statement is not satisfying this logical statement. So we are saying a is greater than 5. Okay, but a is 3, which is less than 5. So this statement will not be executed. Okay, hope you are understanding. Okay, suppose let's assume another scenario. We want to print a is greater than 5 if a is greater than 5, and else we want to print a is smaller than 5. So we will write like else, and I will just copy paste the same thing. A is smaller than 5. Now run. So when we see run now, okay, what will happen? It will write a is smaller than 5. Okay, so how a if else code work? The working of if else code is like, if this statement is true, then the code with if statement will execute. So it will run if true. Else, if this condition is false, then this line will be get executed. So we can write if false. Okay, so in this case a is not greater than 5. That is a false statement. That's why this else statement is being executed. As you can see, a is smaller than 5. Okay, now I think you have a proper understanding of if and else statement. So we'll go ahead and use nested else if. We will see the use of else if statement. Okay, so suppose for this, suppose we are having a marking scheme. Okay, so a student, so what we'll do, just total marks is 100. Okay, if a student is getting 0 to 30, we will print fail. Okay, if it's 30 to 40, we will say pass. If it's 40 to 60, we will say just say excellent. No, just say good. And if it's 60 to 100, say excellent. Okay, so to achieve this we will use else if statement. How to take use of else if statement we will going to see. Okay, so remember our condition is what is our condition? 0 to 30 fail, so I am just writing here da, da, da. 0 to 30, I can say fail. Okay, 30 to 40, we can say simply pass. 40 to 60, we will say first. Okay, and 60 to 80, we will say good. Good. And 80 to 100, we will say excellent. Okay, so how to achieve this? How to achieve this thing? Okay, so for this we will take use of we will take the use of if else statement. Let's see how to use this. Let me remove all this. Yeah, now so we will take a marks variable. Okay, marks variable. So instead of hard coding the value of marks, what I will do, I will ask from user to enter the marks. So how we take input in Python? We use input function. Okay, we write input, and then we show the message to user like enter marks. Okay, now when we run this code, it will ask to user to enter the marks. Okay, whatever enters user enters will get stored in this marks value. Okay, so let first see that. Okay, so let me comment this also, or delete this, we don't need this. Okay, we will simply say print marks. Okay, save this code and run. See, it's asking me to enter the mark. I enter something like 89. Oh, sorry, I enter something like 89, so it's just printing 89. Okay, or to make myself more clear, I will write like you have entered marks. Now again run this code. Suppose I enter 55, 45, it will say you have entered 45. Okay, so now you have learned the use of input function, this input function. Okay, how to take use of. So this is used to take input from user. Take input from user. Now we'll come to our problem statement. Our problem was user will input the marks, and depending upon the marks we want to print some statement. So 0 to 30 is fail, 30 to 40 is pass, 40 to 60 is first, 60 to 80 is good, and 80 to 100 is excellent. So let's go ahead and write the code. So we'll say if marks, okay, if marks is greater than 0, okay, assume there is no negative marking, so marks is greater than 0. Okay, what we'll say, greater than equal to 0, and marks is less than equal to 30. So we have to print fail. Okay, so this is one logical operator which we call and returns true only if both statements are true. So let's understand this first. Okay, so what I will do, we'll create something called truth table. Okay, so for and, the truth table is like, suppose we have two statement 1, statement 2. Okay, so just draw like this. We have like statement 1, statement 2. So when, and then we will call it result. Okay, so when statement 1 is true and statement 2 is true, both is true, then and operator will return true. Okay, suppose statement 1 is false and statement 2 is true. In all these cases, and will return false. Okay, so this is the truth table of and operator. And only returns true if both the statement are true. So let's understand this code now. Okay, so what I told, we want to print this statement only both of these conditions satisfied. Okay, so marks should be greater than 0 and marks should be less than or equal to 30. Then we have to print fail. Okay, now to add more condition, we use elif. Okay, that is else if, that is a short name of else if. Else if marks is greater than 30 and marks is less than equal to, I can say, 40, then I have to print pass. Okay, pass. We write a string in double quote, so we have to write like this, pass. Okay, now let me just copy paste this. So our third condition is 40 to 60 is first. Okay, so let make it 41. Okay, 41 here I will say 61, here I will say 81. Okay, so 41 to 60 is pass. 41 to 60 is first, so I will change here, if it is greater than 40 and less than equal to 60, let's print first. Okay, else if 61 to 80, we have to write good. So we'll say if marks is greater than 60 and it's less than or equal to 80, then we will say, let's say second, or sorry, let's say good. Okay, now if the marks is above 80 and between 100, so we'll say if the marks is above 80 and less than or equal to 100, we want to print awesome. Okay, now if user enters anything apart from these range of numbers, that is 0 to 100, we have to print a message that invalid marks. So what we will do, we will say else print invalid marks. Okay, so this is the nesting of if statement. Okay, let's go ahead and test our code. I will save this and I will run Python file. Okay, enter marks. I will enter here suppose 75. Okay, so it's giving me a error, very interesting error. Greater than equal to is not between the string of string. So in our data type series, we learned that string is something which is combination of all the alphabets and symbols and numbers, where mathematical operations can't be done on a string. Okay, so it will give us error. So we have to convert the given number to integer. And how we'll do that? We will use the typecasting. So we will write like int and like this. Now it will take the input from user, convert into integer and store into the marks. Now our code will work fine. Okay, so let's say control L, run Python file, enter marks. Suppose I enter something like 75. It says good. Why? Because this falls under these conditions. So how this code run? First it checked 75 is greater than 0. Yes, it is. 75 less than 30. No, it's not less than 30. So this statement become false. Okay, then you check the second statement. 75 is greater than 30. Yes, it is. Is it less than 40? No, it's not less than 50. Then this statement is also false. Then you will check whether it's greater than 60. Yes, it's greater than 60. And it's less than 80. Yes, it's less than 80. So this statement is satisfying both the condition. In this, both are true, and only returns true when both are true. So for this will get printed. So good get printed. Okay, now rerun the code and we will like any number like 105. So it will say invalid marks. Why? Because it's not fall under 0 to 100 range. Okay, so all the statement become false and this is else statement get executed. Invalid marks. Okay, now just insert something, just enter something like 30. So it will this fail. Why? Because it will check whether the number is greater than 0. Yes, it's greater than 0. Is it less than equal to 30? Yes, it's 30. So it's equal to 30, and so the print fail function get printed. So here it is printing fail. Okay, so hope you understood the use of if else statement with this example. Okay, so what we learned today? Today we learned about conditional statement. We saw the use of if, else and else if statement. We saw the logical operator and we will see the other logical operator in next videos. In next video we will talk about loops in Python, how many different type of loops. Then we will see how to write a function. Okay, and for today's video there is a practice question for you guys. So you have to write a code. You have to ask the user age and tell them whether they can vote or not. If they are elder than 18 years of age or greater than or equal to 18 years, they can vote, or else you have to print no, you can't vote, or print you are underage. Try this and let me know in the comment section if you face any issue. Thank you. Bye bye.